we're going to do it. You know what I mean? And then there are no problems there, right? But now they see now on that they seen many in it then, right? So you see in Christianity, yeah, it's because the pastor touching people, they're thieving money here, they're doing this and all that. It's just to say this, that any other system outside of our records, especially for the so-called Negro man, Hispanic man, and Latino man, and Native Indian man would not work to uplift our society, right? How this happens is by this. Give me Proverbs chapter 29, verse 21, Baba Bishop. Right? There's a structure. Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 21.
Go through.
He that delicately bringeth up his servant from a child,
right,
shall have him become his son at the length.
Right. So in order to have a long-standing righteous society, this as King David taught King Solomon, right? Once you keep that standard of going about, the servant they're talking about is like a younger man, and you're bringing him up. You understand? So when you have a man now, because this life is service, there's no sort of freedom and free will and all this garbage. It's ultimatums that the Lord have. Right? Just as in, if you choose to either light the fire this way, you can either have a catastrophic event, you understand, something where you blow up the kitchen or something like that, or the safe way to do it. Anything else ain't gonna work. You follow? That is why we have problems in our society. Because the practical approach is not being applied. Once you apply the practical approach, then you'll get a result. Even if it takes some time, you would get a long-lasting or a result that would last for generations to come. That is what the Lord intended when he set up laws. So this today is the biblical law class, right? What you want to understand is the law that is set in place. The law is a protection mechanism. This is what the Bible is really about. The Lord makes sure that he put protection mechanisms in place so that a righteous society could be built, and then they would understand that they must fortify themselves on all the different components. You understand righteousness and forgiveness and long-suffering, all these different things. You would understand the spirit of the law. Then every time that you bounce up a law now, it wouldn't be strained, because remember, again, we was taken away from our laws, the statutes, the commandments, the judgments, which mean the punishments. If you break the law, that would enforce a type of society where people would want to make sure and stay and keep that standard, because not only a high standard or the highest moral standard you follow that you'll have in a society, but you'll also have a place where you could get true justice, right? And there will be no wondering what's supposed to be done, right? Because the Lord, they're trying to make the law way to life. That is applying the law, statutes, commandments, and judgments of the Most High Power. That the men of the Lord have been doing since 1969, and coming up and spending time, because they understand that the servant must be brought up a particular way. If that vision that the Lord looking for, you'll get that thing long lasting for the end of eternity. Going of lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and that's how you build strength. That's how you build character. You understand? You boost the morale of our people. But now they are they've been stripped away from this. So they don't have the ability to stand firm on their own. You understand? So this is a key component that us as a people must understand. These are the things that will lead you on to, the pastor was telling you something, but when you look at the practical application of it, it ain't so, because the jobs and them that the East Indian holding, or the Caucasian them holding, there's always a disparity, and always us at the messy end of the stick, so to speak. We are never given no fair chance on all these different things, because it's because they understand the ability to be the best on the face of the planet, right? That is how you make sure that we don't come up or come back to our standard that we're supposed to be living at, right? From there, we give me Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 16, Babakosha, right? So what must be done here now is coming back to understand what we used to be doing before, right? Which is the spirit of the law, right? You apply the law, and then over time you start to understand what it's really about, right? Who have it?
The book of Jeremiah 6 and verse 16. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the way, and seek and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein.
Right. So stand ye. So now we have to find yourself doing is coming through these doors, asking questions online. Ask all the questions that you need to figure out. Everything that you can think of that the Christian church has been lying about, any sort of philosophy. Right? Because what you want to do, as the scripture say, you want to bring it now and see what be the end result. Right? You want to look at, you want to evaluate it basically, paraphrasing what the scripture is saying. You want to look at it verse 25 to 26, Babu Kusha, right? So this is imperative, as the scripture saying. Give me that again, Babu Kusha.
Thus said the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls.
Right, so this is, go ahead.
But they said, we will not walk therein.
Right, so anytime that you're rejecting what coming out, or the wisdom of this Bible that coming out, then you're telling yourself that I want torment. But the scriptures say if you look and you seek, you follow, and just as if you wanted to get some type of goal accomplished, or you wanted to get a car or house, whatever the case is, you have to have more fervor in terms of understanding the old path, because the old path is what works. And you follow what will be the old paths to walk. Alright, so that is what you have to fight to get. You have to definitely fight to get it, because nobody on the face of the planet, especially your leaders are there, because understanding what's supposed to be happening, right? And they're so belligerent, or they're so siding with other unknown racists, that is Donald Trump, right? The man don't like black people. They follow, it's just skin and teeth. But at the end of the day, when you evaluate his actions, you see that he's not for us, he's not for our cause. You follow? So in order to establish or to really get justice on the earth and peace, finally, and freedom, right? Because we are slaves in our society. The people that work to make sure that the society generate income and flow in as they want it to go, right, are the people in servitude. We are in servitude to many atrocities facing these type of things. So that is why this needs to change ASAP. The right people are not in power, because the Queen does not work. The Prince and they in England, they do not work. They collect the monies, the royalties off of our labor. Right? So what we need to do is transition to be the people that need to be on top again, because when you look at our records, especially instances in exactly what the law for. So what it is that they was able to grasp and to study and to pick apart, you follow? They do that. But they make sure they oppress us, because that is the bitter hatred they have against us. Right? That's the only way you could call it, as the scripture call it rightfully. So what you would see happening in cases, just best believe there's a practical situation or historical record of it right in the Bible here, which we like to call sometimes our war records, because of how much wars we was facing as a people, right? Even like the starting of us as a nation, Jacob 12 sons. That's why we call ourselves the 12 tribes of Israel, because we are the descendants of those 12 sons, right? And that's what the Lord calls us, right? So understanding these things, and then what are the old parts, and then coming back to the old parts to now get us right back on track, or some type of change, especially in a society where, you know, we barely given anything to kind of survive. I'll look at some stats the other day, and I think this was Commanding General Yana bringing it out. Oh, General Myman, I think it was General Myman class. And he was saying, right, that so-called Negroes, the average of our households, right, as opposed to the oppressors and the Caucasian race, their household was, I think, there was, I want to butcher it, I want to think, but I think it was about 12 times, almost 12 times. It was our average household in America, and it will be similar to where we are, because it's the same slave system, right? It's $1,000 US to run a whole house. Imagine you have 5 people, 6 people, 7 people, whatever the case is, right? Because abortion is murder, so yeah, that's supposed to be happening. But what's supposed to happen is that you have an avenue where you could generate monies coming in, you know what I mean? And that your sons and they have opportunities to carry on the same thing, the same type of legacy. You know, a good father leaving an inheritance for his children, and they continue to do that, right? Because in other places around the world, Sweden, Netherlands, and all these different places, you find that they have an economic structure to keep their families afloat, so that they wouldn't kill one another, because that is stress, that stress level and stuff like that will cause and create tensions among our people, right? So when you get like the leader of Black Lives Matter is a Caucasian male, how could he not grow up in your house and understand the same things that you would go through as a people? Tell me, go through.
Yeah, so just to add on to what you're saying, watching a documentary with the Native Indians, them was $1,000 they was getting a year on the state to survive, and the things were so bad that it had between 2014 to 2015 was more than 11 of them that commit suicide because of the oppression.
Right, correct, yeah. I think that was that same class. Correct, yeah. So imagine us as our so-called Negroes, and getting certain variations are things that barely live off of. And especially you have no means of counseling to help them, recover. There's nobody walking them and teaching the servant how to walk so that they'll have a lengthy period of time that they could rule and have a proper, well-managed society. They don't have that, you understand, to their advantage, right? You have no economics to barely live off of, so you can imagine diseases, all these different things that's supposed to be a protection mechanism, as the scriptures say. Money is a defense, wisdom is a defense. You understand? The externality and knowledge is that you have them both basically. When you have these things to available to utilize. Now, us as a people do not have that. So what we must come to the realization of is that the other races and they are at war with us and they do not care for our well-being. If that was the case, what each and every one of them that are marching with everybody like that, they would have shut down all institution, all of that, and give everything back that they've been living off. If they say that they are the ones that wasn't a part of slavery or didn't have any slaves, because that their generations live off of that same wealth, what they would have done is go to their people and them and make sure that the entire European system, the entire America, if all wherever there is, Australia, wherever the case is, that their economy fall and give it right back to the people and them that just stole it from that this situation came out of. If they was really sorry about it, and that would never happen. So all you're seeing is just emotions and an opportunity to vent their anger and their frustration because they can't have some garbage that they want. Right? When the scriptures warn against that. Anything that you want to give yourself, I should say, or spoil yourself, right? It'll have an opportunity for people to let me see if I can find it, right? So you wanna pay attention to that. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But give me the Exodus 18 and 25 by the time Babu Kusha, right? Go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 18 and verse 25.
Go ahead.
And Moses chose able men out of Israel and made them head at all seasons.
Right.
The hard causes they brought unto Moses, but even the small matters they judged themselves.
Right. Right. So this is the structure that is supposed to see that you're supposed to be seeing in our communities as opposed to what we see. Right. So coming back to what we were just now talking about with regards to giving it your soul the things they desire. Right. It'll make you laugh and stuck to them that malign you basically. I paraphrasing what the scripture say. Right. So our people, once you don't want to apply the structure that they have, well, first you have to understand it. Right? So somebody had to walk with you, they follow and raise you up to that standard to be able to understand it. There's nobody outside of the ICPK doing that for any one of us. No Latinos, no Native Indians, no Negroes. And you find our people very forgiving, very loving, very hardworking, and all these different things, but they come into naught. In our society, all these different things is genocidal attacks. You want to treat it with that type of seriousness now. So once you could see it for what it is, you have to see black and white and say, I have to evaluate what have been happening for numbers of years, and my foreparents and my grandparents or whatever the case is for the last 50 years have been doing the same thing. Last what? 69 is what? Yeah, for the last 50 years, last 51 years they've been doing around that, you know what I mean? Or across that. For the last 60 years, these tactics that's supposed to work. Like Martin Luther King and his dream of integration, when you're not seeing that in the Bible. The Lord separated us. Given Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26, Babu Kusha. Right? The Lord, in the first place, He made us separate. He gave people, you understand, their customs over the gate, or He gave them their lands, and they formulate their customs over the cases. You all live across over the cases. The Lord always wanted a separate, or a place where you can have things in order. Structured and exactly for the place and how it's suited. You see like how in the scripture it says, give me it again, Babu Kusha, the 25, verse 25. And Moses chose out of Israel able men. Right? So when you see these things, you have to understand the vision of the Lord. Exactly what He wants. Because that is the old part. You have exactly what the Lord looking for. Go through.
Exodus chapter
18 and 25. Go ahead. Give me the Deuteronomy 7 and 6, Babu Kusha. Right? And after that, go to Deuteronomy 17 and verse 8.
Exodus chapter 18 and verse 25.
Go through.
And Moses chose able men out of Israel.
Right.
and made them head over the people,
Right.
rulers of thousands,
Rulers of thousands, go ahead.
rulers of hundreds,
Rule of law in a society. And you make sure that there's justice and justice and actually freedom. Right? So the type of freedom you're looking for is not being bondage. Because what Leviticus 20 and things saying? What the Lord say? No. Or 7 and 6. Alright. Hold that, right? Give me Leviticus the 26th and the 20th verse, Baba Kushan. Let me just check it verse. When he take us out of Egypt, he makes sure and separate us to come, right? Read on Baba Kushan, verse 7.
Verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor chose you, because you were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people.
Right, so the Lord didn't choose us for no special reason, whatever the case is, right? But here's why the Lord chose us. Go ahead.
Verse 8. But the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
Right, so being under oppression, as we're in today, right, the Lord would honor the same oath as well, right? So, Baba Kusha, give me just to understand from please, Baba Kusha, right? So, what going on is the Lord definitely wants us to understand, okay, separate, because right now we're being separate again, right? Because now we've been in the line, as Muhammad Ali said. There's 100 snakes coming down a hill, but 2 of them good. So that is, like say 2 Black Lives Matter people marching over the cases, right? But 100 snakes coming down the hill. And we in the way of 100 snakes. We are at the bottom of the hill and the 100 snakes coming. Venomous and over the cases. That is what going on, right? And them 2 snakes good. What you need to understand is you need to separate your ideologies from them, because their mind state, you're thinking, okay, these 2 they would not upheld, they would not uphold. If you find one, you understand, doing exactly the same and flowing through the same thing, that is a very rare occasion. And because they probably fear the Lord as they should, more than they fear the people on it. Because they know what the Lord to do. When you understand that, and they fear the Lord up to, in them, that's fear thinking in them. But in the initial way of them, because they've been brought up that way, it instilled in them is to self-preserve, is to save themselves. As we see, I think, I can't remember, I think it's Captain Mashak break it down like this. White supremacy, when in the Vice News thing went come on in Germany and all of them are speaking, right? I think you break it down like this, right? White supremacy is saying that the white man making sure to take care of himself. But black supremacy is us as a people, because that is the charge we get, to take care of our
blood and blood, between plead and plead, and between stroke and stroke.
And them that get, you understand, the opportunity or the responsibility of rulership get, right? If you see a charge that too hard whatever the case is, this is how you're applying it, right? Go down, we done.
Then shall thou arise and get thee up into the place which the Lord thy God shall choose.
Right, so you're giving them the instruction. Anything on the earth that have an application to fix it, right? Go ahead. Right. For judgment. You understand? So shall the throne of iniquity again, our fellowship with thee, with frame it mischief by law? Because every time we go in front of the judge, we always see it, and it upset our soul. We're supposed to be. Even the Lord in the scripture say, you understand, every day he vexes the wicked. You understand? Every day he vexes them because of the madness is seen happening right through. Dylan Roots, you understand, they're taken alive. You understand? Dylan Roots Storm. You understand? Real nickname for him, real bad man thing. You know, and they raise a big GoFundMe for him and think they give him a burger, all kind of thing. If all of the wicked, they're taking care of their own. This is not a society where you have true justice, where there's the application of law. You understand? It's only under the rulership of the men that have the mind state of the Lord, that could show you the vision of the Lord, they can get it. So all Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians need to inquire and come and watch the classes of them and see, because you can't go and do it on your own. Scripture's telling you, don't lean onto your own understanding. In all ways acknowledge him, because you have to understand what acknowledging the Lord is. and they definitely get it in Christian church. They're selling and acid and garbage all their life. Nothing has changed from your grandmother. Your grandmother sowing seed for how long? How long did you finish one pension? Even they was bold enough to say in Trinidad right here, you understand, to talk about sowing your seed. Don't forget to, you understand, to sow your seed in America as well. Right? But if you have no increase such command in general, you know saying, how could you sow, you understand? Or you could give your tenth with your tithing, which is, you understand, a part of the increase that the Lord gave you. You understand? And that is the wickedness of these so-called black leaders. They're in the same white mind because Kenneth Copeland, Mr. $20 million jet, this deceiver is very bold. And continue, you understand, to lead the flock of the Lord into pure destruction. That is the mind of T.D. Jakes and Kirk Franklin and all these men that you esteem. So you must understand that I must evaluate them. What really taking place on the face of the planet. Right? And when that reality really sinks in, then you're looking at where's the other place to go. Because right now people are afraid of leaving these mega churches and they because they see in some way that they're probably getting back in. And if you look at it, they ain't really getting taken care of. It's just that fear in the mind. A lot of people, I could probably tell of the top of my hand, I see operating in that way because they don't understand the Lord and they don't understand how to trust the Lord. You know what I mean? They don't understand how to seek and get things over the cases. And us, we not too long come out of that. These young men here, you understand? 2 years in the school over the cases, blah, blah, blah. But the lot of fights that we going through over the cases, a lot of them could have been avoided if you have rulership, you follow, or you have leadership placed in a country. At least that is why you see them this way. You see that's this way. The John General, all these different things that they like to, or what we're going to call cry down. Why they have a fear? Because if they leave there, it's what people go say. And all these different things, and you're fear because your pockets or your whatever little fame, whatever little thing you're holding on to, which is not giving you nothing. Right? Somebody, if you could find this by the time from a please, Baba Gosha. You can read on to the Deuteronomy. You only need Deuteronomy, right?
Deuteronomy,
the same 17 verse 9. Read on, right? See if you can find this from a please. If you give your sword
to the priests, the Levites, and unto the judge, that he shall be in those days,
right?
And inquire, and they shall show thee the sentence of judgment.
Right, so the priest are supposed to show you the sentence of the judgment. That's how you're carrying it out. So you wait out here now, and then you do it. Because Christ now, I will go to that in a little bit. Right, this is how you want you to think about things. This is how you want to assess things. But now, when you don't see the vision of the Lord, understand that because nobody bringing it to you, you can't apply what you're supposed to be doing. Right? Because you have no Levites in the center to really go to. Outside of these walls, you understand? That is the dangers of being outside of the care of the Lord. You understand? Of being outside of the instruction and the protection mechanism the Lord set in, which is the law, statutes, and commandments, judges, and meant to apply it, meant to enforce it. Right? Read on. Verse 10.
Verse 10. And thou shalt do according to the sentence which they of that place, which the Lord shall choose, shall show thee, and thou shalt observe to do according to thee.
Right, so you shall do everything. You follow that they say. The counsel they gave is based upon the instructions of the Lord. Right? And at that time, you're making sure that true justice was applied. Now, there's nobody doing that again to reiterate. If you're now coming on the video, whether the cases or you mistook or you didn't hear, I was probably speaking too fast. Now you could understand that there's nobody at the top enforcing the laws of the Lord. That's why us as a people do not get justice on the face of the planet. We are being slaughtered, raped, molested, and all the different atrocities, all the evils on the planet are to us as a race. Not Michael Jordan because he have $1 billion or Oprah over the cases, but they are not standing for you as well. They have no voice to be able to do it because they themselves are broken down. They languish, as the scripture was saying. Right? Read on. Officer Shah, read on.
Verse 11. Verse 11. According to the sentence of the law.
According to the sentence of the what?
According to the sentence of the law.
Or what they think?
According to the sentence of the law.
Or what they think it might be. What they think they see and they think it might be. According to the sentence of the
law.
According to what they hear. I feel it's this.
According
to the sentence of the law. That is what they're supposed to do. Read on.
Which they shall teach thee.
So they shall teach thee. Read on.
And according to the judgment which they shall tell thee.
Right.
Thou shalt do.
Thou shalt do. Yeah, you must do. That's a command. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not decline from the sentence which they shall show thee to the right hand, nor to the left.
Right, so to the right hand, you ain't moving off of that. Exactly what they tell you to do, that is exactly what you must do. Right, read on.
Verse 12. And the man that will do presumptuously, right? So the man that would do presumptuously, which means he think that he think this is what it is, and he do it. You follow? So he do that, presuming that that's what it is, because he guess, he thinking that is what it is, and he do it. What will happen to him? Read on. And will not hearken unto the priest that standeth to minister there before the Lord thy God,
right?
Or unto the judge, even that man shall die,
right?
And thou shalt put away the evil from Israel.
So you see how our people begin to get destroyed? Because right now, if the Christian church, if he was to go by the standard the Christian church say, if he was not in the school, you follow? Right? And all now, so that's what people, everybody outside the school doing. They presuming, they think, but they're not being instructed. You follow? This is the danger, so-called Negro man, Hispanic man, Latino man, Native Indian man.
The book of Ecclesiasticus.
Give it loud, Babu Kisha.
The book of Ecclesiasticus 18 and verse 31.
Right, go ahead.
If thou givest thy soul the desires that please you.
Right, pause right there. So the Bible is giving you a warning, right? Remember, they don't want you to go to the left or to the right. They want you to do exactly what the priest say, right? So if the scripture is saying again, give it again. If what?
If thou givest thy soul the desires that please you.
The thing that desires. So there's your fight here now, because coming out of all the madness that you used to do and used to be normal to you, this is what's going on. What will happen to you? Go ahead.
She will make thee a laughing stock to thy enemies that malign thee.
Right? So all the garbage that you was taught is in your mind. If you give your soul, you understand, your mind, the things that they desire, right, and you want to go above board and not apply the instructions here, it will make you a laughing stock. That is why there is laugh and the scriptures, right? Give me the Judith 5 and verse 7 verse 17, Bible Kisha. Right? So this is what you see happening here. All the time in your records, in this Bible here, right, which they teach to their sons in. Look at this. This here is the compact Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Zondervan is not the name of a black man. Collins is not the name of a black man. Strong's and they, the people that write these different books, right? This is history, you see? Look, this is the Assyrian language, right? Yeah, verse 17. Something verse 17.
They prospered because the God had hated iniquity was with them.
Right, so while we prosper, while we obey the Lord, we prosper. Because the Lord hates iniquity, so you'll definitely get punished for it, because the Lord wants to put away evil from Israel. He don't want us to be contaminated. There'll be a time, Lord allow, or Lord forbid, you understand, over Trinidad as well. Officer Galwan is the man over Trinidad, that's the man you want to contact. I'll make sure and leave his number underneath the thing, or you're already on the page. Go to ISCPK, the Trinidad and Tobago page right now if you're looking at it, and get his number. You understand? Find out how to learn a little bit more. Learn online, ask the questions. I want you to clear up all it out in your mind, no problem. Right? Because this is important, right? If you know me personally, whatever the cases, thing what they don't know is me reaching out to, right? But, you know what I mean, with regards to how we just talk over the cases, and I will definitely bring it. If you don't know me personally, whatever the cases, you go and make sure you call that number, right? If you're living in Grenada, St. Vincent, whatever the cases, because at the end of the day, this is one body. You follow? And we want to make sure that all our brothers and them all over the place, in all the tribes and there, because you are the same tribe as us, but we want to make sure that South America get touched, you understand? What do you call it? That brothers in Guatemala, right? Have a brother in Guatemala, you understand? Brazil and Chile. If you had to take, you understand, freeze we tail off, you understand, in Chile, wherever the case is, how much ever brothers, the Lord go send there, whoever. We want you all to come back to the Lord, because we want you all to get the same thing you're facing. It's just, you understand, we have the ability now to get instruction, to get guidance, to follow. But we want you all, you understand, to come together because we want the society to fall. So this is why you see men laboring and take the time to get the instruction here, because that is love. When you love people, you instruct them, you understand, and bring them back to how they're supposed to be going. Alright? So with that said, you just continue to read on to the next scripture, because if God had hate iniquity, you understand, He will be with us once we coming back to how we're supposed to be operating. Read on, Babu Kisha.
Verse 18.
Go ahead.
But when they, which He appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles.
Right.
very sore, and were led captive into a land that was not theirs.
Right.
And the temple of their God was cast to the ground.
Right. You
And
know?
the cities were taken by the enemies.
Right. So when we didn't do that, you follow what happened to us? When we departed away from that, you see, that is why we don't have our monuments or our records and stuff like that. Right? There's a place on I think 2 different locations where they call it the Ark of Titus. Right? Where the so-called, these same people and the Caucasian race, right? The oppressor. They have a picture of them in the Roman fashion wearing, where they actually toting away our symbols, like the menorah. You understand? You might see one of this, right? Which is you call it again? A shofar. A trumpet. So you would see them taking away artifacts like that we would have. Gold cups and all these different riches that we had. Right? All these things that Solomon had and whatever the case, our temples was destroyed and was basically looted. Right? And they took away all our records. That's why we don't identify with nothing great today. They say that they tell us in school that we was a slave. What were we before we were slaves? Trinidad is a 500-year-old country. All these different colonial lands that we occupy as the slaves of the society are only 500 years old, and they'd find very close. Christopher Columbus that they're fighting right now, they're trying to destroy that monument of him in Trinidad here. He came across to this side of the world in 1492, just over 500 years ago. You understand? So you are not these people. Your biblical names are written in the scriptures here, right? You are of the tribe of Benjamin, like Trinidad. America, you understand, is the tribe of Judah. We call it Colombia to Uruguay, the tribe of Asher, right? Guatemala to Panama, the tribe of Zebulon, you follow? Right? This is who you descend from. This is the greatest people on the face of the planet. And you are totally separate from how you're supposed to be thinking and viewing yourself and your brothers and they. So once you really understand the spirit of the law, now your morals start to boost. You understand? You start to look at your brothers different. You start to look at your sisters different. And now you go out every way and every avenue that you could. You just come back to the Lord. And so all this is you all together. Alright? Read on Bible question.
Verse 19. But now are they returned to their God, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and are possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hills country.
Yeah, Baba Gosha.
Verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
Right, pause right there. So they have always known, right, from the time it began, that this is a period of time, I think this was in the Moabite time, right? That this ruler wanted to understand our customs and why we strange and everything like that, and why they wouldn't win wars against us. So this is a man that understands our records, you know. Why he understand our fame and everything like that, right? He was dwelling around probably somewhere close to where he was, and he telling the king, he informing the king here, my lord and governor, right? Let us consider, which means you want to assess. If you end up coming against them, and they obeying the Lord, you'll be a laughing stock across the entire earth, because you'll be brought low. The Lord will if all on all the world, you understand, will know that they come against the people and that is not to be messed with, not to be screwed with. Alright? Read it again, Baba Kisha. Give me that again.
Verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God,
Leviticus 25 verse 1. Go ahead.
Let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
Right.
Verse 21. Yeah. Verse 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
You understand? So they know very well. It's not to interfere with us once we do the right thing. So right now we're very far from that as an entire race. And what we want to do is come back. And you won't believe that the Lord only looking for 144,000 men to be sealed, Salaki. Right? Which means sorry the evil. The Lord looking for 144,000 men at the top, as we're talking about with the Levites and they, that would govern everything. You never know when that could happen. You don't know how much you want right now, because what you would understand over time is our entire, the way 5G they say, because they say it in choose to use, or he choose to allow men to use to destroy you, because that is what a good father will do, allow you to get a real good cocktail. Once you feel the sting and the burn of that cocktail, now you begin to look and understand how not to get that cocktail again. So you must understand that I need to come out of this. You need to come out of being high, you understand, on drugs, and looking for all these simple ways, messing with women that not ready, you understand, to have a man, messing with sisters that have too much men, you're sleeping with women and leaving them, all these different things, because you're destroying your race. You follow? There's a lot of statistics and a lot of evidence and all of that on how the Caucasian race and other races tout their so-called family structures, which is not all that. You follow? Because they don't have the gems or the treasures, the riches of us as a people, which is the instruction of law. The thing that would govern our entire society, which the judicial system, as you would see, is based upon, but they don't apply it properly because it's not the judges in rulership, basically, right? Give me Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 1. I want to show you in the law itself, right? What we want to get into is how the Lord, in His wisdom, structure things so you can understand, or you can really grasp them. What the law, you understand the strength of the law. Read on. Leviticus chapter 25.
The book of Leviticus 25 and verse 1.
Go through.
And the Lord spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, verse 2, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye come into the land which I gave you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Lord.
Read on.
Verse 3, 6 years thou shalt sow thy field, thou shalt prune thy vineyard, and gather in the fruit thereof.
Right, so the Lord showing you a practical example of how His law is set up, and make sure that we live, you understand, and be more than able to take care of ourselves. But here's the dangers of not being in the mind state of understanding your protection mechanism. Verse 4.
Verse 4. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for the Lord. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard.
Right, so the Lord saying in the 7th year I needed to take a rest, right? There's a lot of things with the mechanism of the earth need to make sure that it sustain itself on whatever the case is. But today, our people has been slaves in this society, in a wicked kingdom. We in a sort of a hamster wheel, running and always worrying about how to make the next dollar. You understand, how to make sure we take care of ourselves, and all these different unscrupulous acts you find a lot of our leadership going through, the contractors and all these different men that have a play or some type of allegiance with the other races to try and get something. The economics is always off. You understand how people are always fearing and always, always worrying, you know what I mean? And always looking for a shortcut as opposed to having the mindset of being comfortable and understanding how to apply the law. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't run down riches. You wouldn't run down, you know what I mean? You wouldn't be greedy and all these different things. It would be easy for you to understand because there's abundance. In a place where you have abundance, as the Lord says you wanted to have abundance, you follow? There's no need to fight down anybody. There's no need, you know what I mean, to be able to do something underhand and all these different ways. So anytime you see a people or a society running like that, knowing that it's a very chaotic society and needs to be changed, you follow? So this is the things that the Lord really want us as a people, all Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians to understand that we're in a chaotic society, and no matter how we try to swing it, whatever the cases, once it's under the hand of the oppressors, this will continue to happen, and it's just a matter of time before it hits you. So let's see a man like Michael Jordan. Today, Michael Jordan, now he's facing it, you follow, because look at Warren Buffett. With all the money that he has, with this Caucasian man, right? For the years, the man that earned that earn how much billions in the stock market. When the stock market crashed just the other day, he lost about, I think, $40 or $50 billion. You know what I mean? Out of his money. And that is the reality of things. But if you're not courageous and trying to stop everything and whatever the case is, you don't have that weight upon you. You follow, you don't have people that are trying to rob you. You know what I mean? You don't have mutt and rust going and crop it, because how much things they have to do to try and sustain it to keep is warfare. You'll have to apply some strategy and understanding what could be done. And even in the society here, you need to be understanding the vision that the Lord has. You need to be on that men that can instruct it that way. You follow? And what you'll do is do. But assist what the UPK has been doing since 1969 to present. Right? And then you'll see with whoever you want to believe in. You know what I mean? We don't know Kisha. Verse 5.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
That which groweth of its own
accord,
thy harvest, thou shalt not reap.
Right, so he's saying the same things that going in the 7th year, that was going of its own, we don't.
Neither gather the grapes of thy vine undressed, for it is the year of rest unto the land.
Unto the land, you know what I mean? Right, so he's saying, don't got it, don't take it fall. Because if you know how Caribbean people are sometimes, they tell you, you take the cassava skin and this, you know what I mean, the little ends of this and that, and they tell you, fatten up the land. Right, fatten up the land, which means let it get the nutrients it have. Right, and there's systems even in farming where people will have like sectionated places. Right, like a compost heap, and you the same refuse then, you know what I mean? You cut off the dashing or this, that, and they make a whole compost heap and it gives plenty manure, right? Pure manure right there. So everything kind of utilizing the same system, and it doesn't corrupt or nothing like that. You know what I mean? That same system is what the Lord gave to us before. And you just had to come back and seek the old path. Read on, Baba Kusha.
Verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for thee and for thy servant, and for thy maid, and for thy hired servant, and for that sojourneth with thee.
Right, so the Lord saying at that time, right, this shall be, the Sabbath of the land, that could be meat for you, which means, you know what I mean, that will provide for you, right? So, you know, we just talk as black people, you know what I mean, meat to eat, to devour, you know what I mean? But not, of course, not with that cabbage's mind, but just being expressive now, just being as bold and ways as other people, right? So the Lord, that is how the Lord talk as well. So he's saying, you know, this go take care of you all. That is a whole year you're talking about them. Right? So they have nothing to really worry about it, just to really get back to that place where we could come out of this entire system and then begin to see the Lord working. And it's happening right now. You can see examples of that happening right now, you know what I mean?
Verse 7. And for thy cattle, and for the beasts that are in thy land, shall all the increase thereof be meat.
Right, so even cattle and everything you eat, the whole year. Right, so that's not really reason to worry and them kind of different things. Right, so that is what all people need. All people need a rest from this place. We need to come back to applying the laws of the Lord, which is that protection mechanism for us. Alright? From there, give me Exodus chapter 21 verse 16, because I want to show you the difference. The disparities between our oppressor being under their society and as opposed to us, right? Remember, we're going back to the justice and the law. You know what I mean? The strength of the law and seeing what justice is supposed to look like as opposed to what we're facing right now, to help the people understand how serious it is, how real it is. Read on.
Exodus chapter
21 and verse 16, Baba Kusha.
Exodus chapter 21 and verse 16. And he that sealeth a man and selleth him, if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death.
He shall surely be put to death. You follow? So Christopher Columbus and them would have been put to death. They steal the man and sell it him. What they was doing in 1616. Right? The oppressors and then the Caucasians and they were selling us left, right, and center. They have records of us on slave blocks. The children them naked as they born. All these different wickedness. You follow? We ain't supposed to expose ourselves to one another. Like my shit, my back expose them. You know what I mean? And me and my region talk. And you don't even have that in our culture. It's such a horrible people. You know what I mean? Now, this is what the Lord saying. If you steal the man and sell it to him and have him, all kind of different ways what go happen, the Lord killing you. Just as the band them know, that is how the heathens had that kind of respect at that time. You know, hey, if you only go around these people and them and the Lord backing them down, you have trouble to face down. You have real problems to face. You know what I mean? So what our people need to feel again or really conceptualize and begin for that to be a part of us is coming back to serving the Lord. And the Lord will deliver us and He will make these other heathens and them a real shame because this is the last slave period that will be facing as a people. We are in the end of the age. We are almost the end of this world, or what we call our society. Our age, this is the age of the Caucasian male ruling. We're almost at the end of that, and it's about time that our people get true justice on the face of the planet. So if that is what you're interested in, you follow, make sure and make your way through these doors. Because, of course, if we not to go along with what the Lord's saying, there's a punishment for it. Again, we have no freedom of choice. There's an ultimatum. You have the ability to choose life, and you have the opportunity to choose death. It's an ultimatum, right? Because at the end of the day, you continue to cycle here, and if you're a Negro, Hispanic, and Native Indian, I know you ain't living good. I know you ain't living where even if you have money, you're scared as hell. Because you know what could happen, especially with a race war. Money don't save people from race wars. You understand? Money don't save people from coronavirus. Money don't save people, you understand, from atomic bombs. Right? What's going to happen, what's going to pop up just now. Money don't save you from that. You understand? Your mind state being really consumed. That is what going to save you. Because the Lord going to see that you have His mark on you. Right now, people have the mark of the beast. You understand? Which is the philosophy and the thought patterns of the beast. Everybody outside of these walls, because that is what have been fed to you. As a slave coming up, this is what was given to you. You follow? So if you have an ear to hear what the Lord's saying, and what you will do is be diligent enough to continue to seek the Lord. Right? And you don't seek the Lord on your own. That is not what is happening. A man has had a guide through that, as Proverbs was saying. As Acts 8 and 30 say. A man, give me that Bible shot, right? We're not touching something real important because when we was in our culture, we would understand a whole lot of things that is very practical, but now it's very nonsensical and doesn't make any sense in the society. Acts, and where you holding it from? Give me the Exodus 21 and 17 by the time Bible shot. Read now just 10 to 19. Give me 17 by then.
Verse 17.
Uh-huh.
And he that his father or his mother shall surely be put to death.
Right? So the man that curses your father or mother, you fall and say, I wish this happened. Because and they, especially your mother and your father, Lord going to put you to death. Because He want to make sure you put away evil from Israel. You would come back in what we call reincarnation. You know, that is a different topic. Right? But you'll come back. You'll come back on the earth again and have an opportunity to get your mind right, basically. In a society where the rule of law is being applied, instructed. Give me the Acts 38 and 30 Bible question.
And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah and said, Understand thou what thou readest?
Right, so anybody saying that they read in this Bible and wasn't instructed or wasn't taught, just like your parents taught you all the tie your shoelace, how to wipe your behind, and all these different practical things, it's the same rule applies to the Bible. Just as a lawyer had to study and go through what you call an internship, the same thing with a doctor, it's the same thing that must happen with the Bible. There's nothing irrational or magical about the scriptures. This is not something that is just enter your soul just like that. It must be taught. Somebody must guide you. Read it again, Baba Kisha. Give it a little louder.
The book of Acts 8 and verse 30. And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah and said, Understand thou what thou readest?
So the disciple of Yahushua, or what people call in the world Jesus Christ, right? He ran to the eunuch. This is the Ethiopia. This is the backdrop of it, right? This is a man of high authority. He's a eunuch, right? Some people become a eunuch is a man, right, that decide either you understand, he gonna serve the Lord and not take a wife, nobody cases, or some of them have their genitals mutilated, which means cut off, and they have no desire for women, so they serve in places where people could trust them, like kings in king's courts, under different rulership, and at that time it was under the rulership of the Romans, and of course other people would have us. That's why they call them an Ethiopian. Just like I would be a Trinidadian, but that's not who I am. I'm of the tribe of Benjamin, but I reside in the captive land of Trinidad and Tobago, so-called republic. Right? This man at that time would have been residing in Ethiopia, but he knows according to the Lord, Deuteronomy 16 and 16, that all males must come to Jerusalem to serve the Lord for 3 times in the year: the Passover, the Feast of First Fruits, and the Feast of Booths, or the Feast of Tabernacles. Right? So he'd have been the same way. And then Philip seeing the man, this Lord speaking to Philip, if you read through the chapter, you would see where he given the insight, hey, want to talk with that man. You follow this, the Spirit of the Lord, showing him exactly what to do, like us. You understand? The same thing, we understand the Spirit of the Lord. So when the scriptures telling him what we must do, then and we're going to do the same thing. Read on, Baba Kusha.
Verse 51. And he said, how can I except some man should guide me?
Right. So here what the man's response was, him being a man in authority. Right? This is not the average Joe, as they like to call him, and that doesn't make much of a difference. But just know that he's a learned man. He would have the opportunity to encounter with this. So he, being wise, this is how we must look at the way we're supposed to approach things. This is his mind state, not trying to figure it out on his own, because he know that can't. Verse 31, start from the top. Loud, Babu Kusha.
Verse 31. And he said, how can I, except some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him.
Right, so he desired that somebody would come and break down the understanding of the scriptures thing. Because that's the same thing Christ did for his disciples. That's what a man of the Lord is doing. He make more disciples, you understand? So that's the ICP and the command generally, and that is our prerogative. That is the primary objective. To make disciples, to follow and to give and to take back this kingdom. One man at a time, woman, child, whatever the case is, that is how we go and do. Alright? From there, give the same Exodus chapter 21, verse 18, Baba Kusha.
Exodus chapter 21 and verse 18. And if men strive together, and one smith and smith.
That old like the road. Read on, Baba Kusha.
Not.
And he died not, so he didn't die. But he lived. Read on.
But keepeth his bed.
But keep it his bed, so he stick to our bed. He basically stick to, you know what I mean? He confined to our bed. Read on.
Verse 19. If he rise again.
Right, so let's say a coma, so to speak. I know that is the same situation they talk. Right? But if it's a coma or the man rise again, which means he didn't die, but he end up, he bedridden, and whatever the case is, and is a devastating blow. Here's the brotherhood in the scripture, Here's what the fortunate or the real substance of the Spirit that will come out here now. This is what is great for us other people. Read on.
And walk above his staff.
Right, so you're walking at that crutch basically. So you're talking about the uplift, you understand? So you're walking at that staff. But you're injured. Read on.
Then shall he that smote him be quit.
You understand? So you go stop fighting. You understand? You go try to attack the man whoever the case is. Read on.
Only he shall pay for the loss of his time, and shall cause him to be truly healed.
To be thoroughly healed, you understand? So that is what it is. So you make action and it was, you understand, it was unbodily. You put the man at the hazard, you could have killed the man. This is the payment. This is the make sure and take care of the man till he up to speed. You understand? You damage the man, so you make sure you bring him up to speed. That is the beauty, that is the beautiful part about the law. You understand? That is what our people need as our people. We don't get that. You follow? So now it's really imperative that you come back to your records. So-called black man, Latino man, Native Indian man. You follow? This is what going to give you the life or really and truly give you hope to look forward to what it is that the Lord intended for you from the beginning. Alright? Give me Zechariah chapter 11 and verse 5, Baba Kusha. Because here's what's going on. Us now as slaves. But in our records, and when we have proper rulership at the top, you understand? And with the ability to enforce laws, which means nobody could say that, hey, you're killing people, you're lynching people on that side, and then lock up the leaders. You understand? When you have the absolute power, the law they follow to really enact or really carry out judgment on the face of the planet, this is what could happen on the face of the planet. True, brother. Read on, Baba Kusha.
The book of Zechariah 11 and verse 5.
Here's the opposition now with our oppressors. Go ahead.
Who possessors slay them.
Whose possessors? So our slave masters possessors and slay us, kill us. Go ahead.
And hold themselves not guilty.
And hold themselves not guilty. Amado Berry, you understand? Not guilty. J1 Martin, not guilty. John, we call it Ting Brown, Mike Brown, not guilty. You understand? And the list goes on. That is the atrocities that we see happening with our brothers and sisters. That could be my neighbor, my brother, my father, my uncle. That's how we must see it. Read on.
And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
So you see how dangerous that is to these people and them. This doesn't seem to amaze me, understand? But that is real. Like these people and them so bold. If all people could understand the trap, they wouldn't even want to smell the sweat on the skin next to them walking in no Black Lives Matter nothing. This is the dangers of joining hand in hand with your oppressor. But this is their mind state. This is how their parents think. How far could they be? You think they want to give up the Xbox subscription and that and the Spotify and the Apple thing and all that? You feel they're going and actually do that? They're not doing it, you understand? That is what keeping them, sustaining them for generations, and that's how they've been conditioned. The only way for you to get justice, because your own shepherds, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, T.D. Jakes, T.D. Snakes, Kirk Frank, all these different people telling you to join. Everybody's one. When everybody's not one, some people are planet. Some people are outright murderers, are rapists, and some thieves. Some people do not care one backside about you. So-called Negro man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. And that's the majority of them. Forget Frank, who's your good friend, or Bill. You understand? Susan and Karen. They follow, they're not for your cause. They're not for your cause. They cannot solve your issues. Coming back to the Lord, the Lord will solve every issue that you have. So every chance that we get to open our mouth, this is what we'll come back to. Coming back to how you're supposed to be living. Alright? Give me Psalm chapter, give me Job 9:24 first, Baba Kusha. Now you get to understand what really taking place, because this might be a shocker to you. You understand? But knowing this, that our righteous Father, I have no leadership right now that will do exactly what they're supposed to be doing as there before. And they do it over time, so much time, that this is what happened. This is what they need. This is what they bring me to. Giving them over to our people that they totally separate from. Look how hard it is, knowing that you was in slavery not too long ago, that your foremothers was raped. You have sisters marrying these oppressors. You have brothers marrying the children. The Lord even gave us a law not to do it. But knowing that this is how we, and you see what they're really about, I don't understand how they read on Baba Kusha.
Job chapter 9 and verse 24.
Well,
the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges.
Psalms 147, 19 to 20. Go ahead.
If not, where and who is he?
Read it again, Baba Kusha.
Job chapter 9 and verse 24.
Right.
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked.
Right, pause, right? So the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, the entire rulership of the earth. There's one race of people that actually dominates economics, military, the planet. They have, what do you call it? They have the High Commission and the embassies in almost every country on the face of the planet. They dominate the planet, and that was given as a sword or correction stick from the Lord. You understand? To oppress every race on the planet, especially us at the bottom. We just face the worst, right? Because 77 million so-called Native Indians that they almost wiped out. 90 million in the transatlantic slave trade, I so-called Negroes. You follow? Our brothers and sisters that look just like us. They follow of different tribes, face the same atrocities. They almost white. That is what we face. We face the worst out of all of them because this is who they directly hate. They don't care about nobody else. They don't care about East Indian, Chinese, whatever the case is. That's why you see them at war. I heard something today that, I don't know if anybody heard that as well, that right now China, right, and I think India, or somebody like that, right now fighting for space somewhere close to the Middle East there. I heard that today, sir.
Do you think similar here, well, we are saying one is here China and Russia was basically competed against the US.
Right, all that.
That ain't oil, that ain't gold. One of them was pushing the dollar and trying to devalue the US dollar. So
right.
How they are working.
Right. As the scripture says, this is what Christ prophesied in Matthew 24. So he's saying when you see, exactly what Officer Barrett was saying, right? We're seeing wars and rumors of wars. This is the time period that we're in right now. We follow, but the end is not yet. That's what Christ is saying, but we're almost there. So this is what's going on now. There's thermal, nuclear, ballistic missiles that are going to shoot off in what you call World War III. It's the last stage. There was a World War I before, mind you. There was a World War II. Now World War III is almost to the boiling point. We're already in the stages of World War III. You follow where you see all these different tactical moves. And they try, as he's saying, but I'm saying, you know what I mean, that they're trying to devalue the dollar and all these different strategic actions that are taking place is the leading up to a World War III. Because if, as being the slaves of the society right now, if the coronavirus or some other plague was to hit, as the Lord could very well do as he did to Egypt, was to continue to hit, you understand, the society hard, and we wasn't able to sustain their societies, all the other nations would get vexed to them because they can't do any trade right now, and that should tip it off. You understand? That could very well be a boiling point. Right? So all these different things, and then once you don't have money generating, of course, they can't sustain all the garbage that they like, all the drugs they like to smoke, and all these different things, and whores, and all this child trafficking, and all the madness that they engage in, and they push as their culture, right? They can't do. So you know what will happen? Of course, they will be angry. And because they don't have the law, the understanding and the real wisdom of the scriptures. Give me Psalm 147, verse 19 to 20, Bible question. You understand? So once they don't have that, of course they'll find utter chaos in a society. So get ready for that. You understand? As the scripture saying, wars and rumors of war, kingdom against kingdom, people against people, nation against nation, so like here. Right? Which means race. Nation means race in the Bible. Right? So this is what will happen very soon. Right? So you want to come to a place so you can get fortified mentally, you understand, and then prepare physically for what will take place. Right? But spiritually come out of the ways of America. There's only been proven to be death and destruction to us. If we don't forget what they're doing on their side, because they're not for our cause anyway. But us having the responsibility of the scriptures, as the scripture would say, right? This is what we must come back to. This is how this entire thing is going to finish completely. Give me Bible question.
The book of Psalms 147 and verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation. And as for their judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
Right? Give me that again, Bible question.
The book of Psalms 147 and verse 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Right.
He had not dealt so with any nation.
So the Lord showed the statutes and the judgment. The statutes what he established forever, this is the days that you'll keep. Before these the things that you must do. Right? He laws and his commandments. My commands, I want you to execute it this way and not to go to the left, as you said earlier, as the scripture was saying Salakia earlier, or to the right. So you keep on that path. Right? We done?
And as for his judgments, they have not known them.
So the other races and the other nations do not know the judgments of the Lord. And if you get caught, you will die. But they don't face the judgment, they don't feel it. So they don't know the judgment, they don't know what the punishment feel like. For them to feel it, we have to come back to applying. Once you come back to applying the law, and the Lord see enough of us doing that, then and only then your anger could suffice. Then your stress level will go way down. Then you can prosper again as a people. But you ain't coming out of here by yourself. Michael Jordan ain't doing it. He couldn't do it. Oprah couldn't do it. Nelly couldn't do it. LeBron couldn't do it. And LeBron is an honorable man for at least trying, to at least doing certain things over the cases. But there's much more that is required of you because the Lord wanted to come back to the instruction that He gave you. Or make sure that you as a race, you understand, come back to being strong and getting true justice and freedom on the face of the planet again. Alright? Give me Psalm chapter 7 verse 11, Baba Kusha. Alright?
The book of Psalms 7 and verse 11. God judgeth the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day.
Every day. So the God right now judging the righteous. You understand? He make us to be righteous. He made us a upright plan, but we become degenerate after following the ways of the nations. Following and envying their ways, we become degenerate, which means you almost, you understand, not be able to do anything for ourselves or to fix anything, and whoever the case is, degenerate, going backwards. Right? So, with that, you understand, give me the Psalms again, give me the last part. And the same verse. And God.
And God is angry with the wicked every day.
Remember, He gave the wicked rulership of the entire earth. He is vexed with them every single living day. The Lord is vexed with them. So the Lord is angry, you follow, but you not in the place, or we as a people, you understand? I should say, us, all of us, because none of us coming out of it together without pulling each other out, you understand? There's a certain amount that you're looking for, yes, and then you can establish a government on the earth again, because these men understand what they must do, right? But the Lord judging the righteous, and He angry with the wicked every day. The same anger that you're supposed to feel, that you feel right now, the Lord is angry with them. But there's the mechanism that you must understand is coming back to what He said to do. But all that, you can't give your society to run and you're degenerating and come back to making the progress that He wanted to do. You follow? You could only do that under command and general honor and the men downward under their instructions. Because that's who the Lord set up and that's how we choose to deal with it. So we have the opportunity, understand, to suffer with you, you know what I mean, and come back to that same standard that all of us need to come to perfection and excel. Alright? With that, give me Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 9. One man, and then hold Amos chapter 2 and verse 10, Baba Kusha. Baba Kusha, go ahead.
Zephaniah 2 and verse 9. Therefore, as I live, saying the Lord.
Yeah, the Zephaniah? Oh, sure. Zephaniah 2 and 1. Baba Kusha. Salakia. Right.
Zephaniah 2 and verse 1. Gather yourself together, yea. Gather together, O nation not desired.
Right. So gather together, yea. The Lord saying, yes, this is what I want you to do. You fall like how black people stuff. Go wash away, God. You understand? But gather together, O nation, O race not desired. We done?
Verse 2. Before the decree bring forth. Before the day pass, at the shaft, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord anger come upon you.
Right, so the Lord is already angry, but what's going to happen? The day of the Lord anger, which means the day that He's going to take vengeance on the face of the planet for all the wickedness that has been done to us. And once you find yourself in the same mind state, right, or doing the same things of the oppressor, that He is angry with every living day, you will definitely face the wrath of the Lord as well. So you need to come out of that. You need to gather yourselves together and come back to understand that the Lord could sustain you and He will sustain you. All the fears that you have, whatever the case, all these weaknesses, you will learn over time. When you come in here, the men will build you up to where you're supposed to be, because none of us understood what we were supposed to do in the beginning. You follow? There's a lot of stuff that we still need to understand how to apply and how to begin to be more perfect. You understand? Or wherever we lack in, you follow, we'll be brought up to that standard. Alright, and then of course, being in that state, now you have the mind that you can now excel and start to do things that will help, you know what I mean? And alleviate the pains of our people. Alright, as this kingdom fall, we will rise. Alright, Amos, study Amos 2 and 10, Baba Kusha.
The book of Amos 2 and verse 10. Also, I got you up.
Amos 2 and 10? That's not, Micah 2 and 10. That's not, one second. I think it's Micah 2 and 10. Slack it. Alright? Try Micah. Yeah, Micah 12 there.
Of Micah 2 and
Start
verse
there.
10.
Check it out.
Arise ye and depart.
So the Lord is commanding you, he's saying to the prophet Micah, you know, arise and depart. Get yourself up out of America and the ways of America and depart. Depart from the ways, the thinking, the movements, the philosophy. You understand? Read on.
For this is not your rest.
It's not your rest. Remember the Lord show his laws, statutes, commandments, and judgments to the nation of Israel. He's speaking to the same Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He's saying for you to arise and come out of the ways of this place. Because this is not your rest.
Because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
Right? This is what we've been facing as a people. It is polluted, under polluted society and polluted leadership. It will continue to have a sore impact on you, be destroyed sorely. When you're even looking for it, you fall on you thinking that you're a good person, you will be destroyed severely. So you want to come out of the ways of here ASAP. Like yes. With that, we pass the class over to Priest of Officer Barrier. Slack here. Move the fan up, right? Fan. So what? You still the frame, right? Fan. Okay, move the fan up. So move it that way. Move to the shop, right? So what again? Appreciate it. Right, yeah, man. Alright, let me see what we're going to do. Go ahead. Yeah, go check.
Security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commanding General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes. Right now we are waiting the update concerning the Lord's Passover from Commanding General Yahanna, the leader of the nation of Israel. Remind Akim and Aquatium to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on. Headband or scarf. Ya Nawan. Ba na sa ya one. Abal. Ha wa sa na one. Ma yan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Ha ma lakwa. Wa ha ala. Wa la yam. Aman.
In the English, what we just said was, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts.
Mahala.
Kalmakala.
Wakal ma wa. Lata.
Nataha.
Ha matazarium.
Hamatazarium.
Haka.
Haka.
La ha Quayam,
La Quayam,
Hamathiam,
Amathiam,
Hakat,
Hakar,
Al Rachawath,
Al Rakawat,
Hamathiam, Hamathala,
Atamaal,
La Garashai, Yahushai,
Wayawashai,
Wa Ma Ya A La Wa Yahana,
Al Wapian,
Ha Al La Wapiam,
Al Wapian,
Ha Saraniam,
Asiranian,
Ha Quataza Yanyam,
Akotazanian,
Ha Ya.
Alright, we're going to send up the ICP curses here. Alright. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things living.
and all things living.